This episode of Scholar Saunders Seeing has been brought to you by Lifestrong Apparel. You go to the site LIFESTRONGAPPAREL, and you can find various products and services on this site. You can go to the rideshare for dogs, there's sitting for dogs, and there's doggy treats, and there's stuff for the humans too. There's purple sea moss, raw sea moss, and sea moss gel. So if you're interested in any and all of those things, make sure you go over to Lifestrong Apparel. Once you make a purchase, you can put in the code SKYLER20 or Skyler20 and get 20% off all your purchases. So make sure you head on over there to get those products. LifestrongApparel.com. Also, Dot Focus, DOTFOCUS underscore, one underscore. Dot Focus. He has great gaming skills. He was just on a few minutes ago. I was just watching him do his thing with the rifles and all the other weaponry and armament. Definitely check out his Twitch. I think it's the same thing as Dot Focus, DOTFOCUS, one underscore. So check out what he has to do and tell him that the goofy guy Sky Saunders sent you. Also, Mr. Beha Jackson, BEEJACKSON 5478. Beha Jackson is the original Doughboy. He's the younger version of Ice Cube's Doughboy in the monumental film Boys in the Hood. He's got sardines on the grill. He's got fried chicken. He's got near beer, non-alcoholic beer, and he's talking about female strippers. So if you like those things as well, you can go to his YouTube page. He has 135 subscribers. Let's get him up to 150. Let's give him 25 more subscribers. So I think we can do that within the next week or two. Let's get him up there. Let's subscribe, and like. All right, got all those on deck. Thank you very much for my sponsors. Now I have to talk about something that's not going to get me many views at all. It's not going to give me a lot of likes. It's not going to get a lot of shares. But I thought it should be talked about. It should be discussed. Doulas. Cook County and Illinois, which comprises Chicago especially. It is launching a pilot program for $1 million to hire free services for doulas, for patients, for pregnant women, to facilitate their pregnancies, and their deliveries to be exact, and the post care as well. Who is this? Cars, J.I. Cars, hi. Okay, hi, Cars. So, like I said, this isn't going to garner that many views, but that's okay. I got enough views. I get my numbers up, in the evening probably, maybe tomorrow. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, so the doulas are essentially people that help out with the birthing process. They assist with, psychological and physical needs of the woman giving birth, and also follow up, unless this picked up. Okay, it's picking up again. Okay, I'll continue. All right, I must have got a call or something like that. Had to have gotten a call. Okay. But like I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, this is a knock. I don't like this. I don't like the government providing any funds for private care. That should all be left up to the free market, free enterprise. Nothing from the government should be involved in doulas or OBGYN or any part of the medical profession at all. It only should be its only role is to provide rights for the patients and the doctors and nurses. That's its only sole role. It's its only reason for existence. That's it. There's no other reason for it. Absolutely no other reason. I see that, of course, they're always like, oh, it's in good intentions and it's supposed to help out women, and that's cute. But let's make it privatized. Privatize it. Make it not governmental. Cook County should have nothing to do with it, and other counties as well. There should be a block on all government, facilities and government specialties regarding it. Here we go. All right, let's see what he does. He messed up already, but that's all right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Skylar Saunders Seeing Show, and he's talking about the bird flu. It's the new flying flu, brought to you by the pigeons of 42nd Street. Salute to you. Sit. Stiff? What's that? Sit. Okay, I don't know what you're talking. I'm talking about doulas, not bird flu. What are you talking about, Rick James? You gotta lay off the water. You gotta get off the angel dust. You really gotta clear your mind, my friend. Get on the right page. Get on the right track. But like I was saying, doulas are essential to it. There was a discrepancy between black women giving birth and white women giving birth, and their mortality rates. It was 2% for black non-Hispanic women, and 1%, a little over 1% for non-Hispanic white women. So that's this disparity that they're trying to, that's the gap they're trying to bridge, and what they're trying to do with the doulas who help out with tremendous care, the various women who stand in the line of giving birth. They have that whole mantra. It's like they have I can't remember what it is. She has like GAMEH, and I can't remember what it stands for, but she has a whole, that's just shows how she has a plan for presenting everybody with enough idealism for how to promote health for the mother and the child that will be born. And that's the beautiful part about all this. But the ugly part is about Cook County. Cook County should have nothing to do with it. There should be a complete line drawn in the sand, whether there should be government involved. I was just watching a clip of the Cook County Commissioner. She was talking about how it's beneficial and it's helpful, and it gives people, the women, the empowerment to know that they have somebody that's going to make sure that they're going to see to it that they have a safe and happy birth and post-pregnancy, postpartum experience. That is very vital, as I've said before. It was 2% more higher rate for black women to have complications or even mortality when it came to giving birth. What we have to do is, make that distinction. We have to have it. We're so ingrained in our mind. Oh, government's going to take care of it. Government's going to take care of it. Uncle Sam's going to take care of it. United States government's going to take care of it. Everything's going to be all good. We got Medicare, Medicaid, and all these goodies, and Social Security. Oh boy, I can't wait. Like, we're just so programmed into thinking that the government has to solve every issue. Its only issue is protection of individual rights. That's it. There's nothing else. That's it. And it has 3 agencies to do that: the law courts, the military, and the police. And that's it. If you dropped all of those, you dropped all regulations and controls, there were no income taxes on federal, city, and state, and there were only taxes on consumption, that would make a huge, it would make not even a huge, it would be a gigantic shift in the way we do business. It will be unprecedented. The government does not have the solutions. Well, it should only have one solution. The solution it should have is to protect individual rights. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing more. That's it. It's the last thing. It's the first thing and the last thing it should be doing. That's all. That's the only thing it should be doing. It's the only thing it should be concerned with. Every politician, everyone within the government structure should have their minds solely focused on how can I protect the American people. That's it. That's their only goal. That's their only role. That's their only role. That's their sole role. Is to how do I protect the individual rights of Americans? How do I make that right? How do I continue that? And then it's, like I said, local and city, like counties, like in Cook County or in Illinois, mainly where Chicago is, the $1 million pilot program is a serious step backwards in the whole case for doulas in the realm of medical care, because they should all be privatized. They should all have. I'm repeating myself, but it's a good thing to repeat. It's the truth. I repeat the truth all day long. You trust Dr. Fauci, director? I don't think Dr. Fauci's practicing anymore, is he? I doubt that he's even practicing. After the COVID thing, he kind of fell from grace because he didn't really have all the pieces of the puzzle together, so he kind of had to bow out, disgracefully, not in the best way, not in the best terms. But we're not talking about Dr. Fauci right now. We're talking about doulas and the Cook County pilot program for $1 million to institute doulas to facilitate births and to monitor postpartum actions by the woman who gave birth, the mother. That's what we have to really look at. There's a distinction between whether there's so many people that are continually trying to have a baby, and once they have a baby, then they could have complications because they're black. And what are those reasons? What's the reason why? Is it just because of the color of their skin, they have a higher melanin count, or is it because they're not getting enough training in how to properly care for themselves while they're pregnant and during the birth, the actual delivery of the child? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. That's the question we have to ask ourselves. We have to ask ourselves, what is it with these women? Why is it white women only 1%, complications or mortality rate, and it's doubled, literally doubled, 2% for black women? So I'm running with my road dog right now. That's Mr. Rick James. If nobody else is gonna be in here, Rick James is gonna be in here. Salute. In my opinion, in theory, I would say that the government is trying to seize out all the black men. That's a different story, sir. Let's just save that for a different time period. Let's focus on the doulas and the Cook County pilot program for $1 million to ensure that every woman, especially black women, receives a doula and receives the care that such doulas, these professionals, provide. That's the main thrust of this show. So let's keep it on point. Let's keep it together. Okay. So it's really sad, when you think about it, but it doesn't have to be sad. They're kind of upbeat. Everybody was like, they weren't like moping. They weren't like, oh no, these women are in danger. And they're like, no, we can have a complete shift in what we do to ensure that the mother, the child, everybody involved is on good footing, is a good in a way of life that they can appreciate, that they enjoy the quality of life, both the mother and the child, and they see through it before, the baby is born, while the baby is born, and after the baby is born. That is the wonder of a doula. That is the beauty of a doula. And what the hell does doula stand for? Let me see what it really means. It sounds like an African word, but I'm not sure. It's a non-medical professional, a director and writer, and what? Such as childbirth, miscarriage, induced abortion, stillbirth, or dying. Because all these things happen, so they have to be present. They have to be present-minded. I'm looking for right now. Etymology. Here we go with the etymology. I'm looking for it. Doula meant slave. It meant slave. It literally translates as slave. You can't use that word though. It uses ancient Greek word meaning female slave. I had to wonder if it had something to do with that, but this is a Greek word. So it said here's this is a this is what Vice President Kamala Harris stated. We need to speak the uncomfortable truth from the women. Truth that women, and especially black women, are too often not listened to or taken seriously by the healthcare system, and therefore they are denied the dignity they deserve. And we need to speak the truth because today the United States is one of only 13 countries in the world where the rate of maternal mortality is worse than it was 25 years ago. That risk is even higher for black women, who are 3 to 4 times more likely than white women to die from pregnancy-related causes. These numbers are simply outrageous. So that was just, the Cook County one is just doubled, but it's almost tripled. It almost, went up 3 or 4% than white women. That's pretty, distressing. That's a distressing kind of idea. What is it, sir? Or a doula? Yeah, doula. D-O-U-L-A. Doula. It means ancient slave. Or excuse me, in ancient times, ancient Greece, it meant woman slave. Because she would have the duty, she would have the responsibility of caring for the people in antiquity. The women in antiquity who were given birth. And it was always most likely a slave woman or a slave girl. See, this is from when Harris was a senator. She reintroduced the Maternal Care Access and Reproductive Emergencies Care Act, which aimed to address the maternal mortality disparity faced by women of color by training providers on recognizing implicit racial bias and its impact on care. This is so corrupt. This is so not right. And not just because of tax dollars. That's a practical sense. That's a very practical, true sense. You're spending dollars. Maybe somebody might want to spend money on black women. They should have the right to not, have to spend their tax dollars on black women. But a moral sense, it's not the government's role to do anything within the medical sphere, within the financial sphere, within any sphere except protecting individual rights. That's it. That's all. I will say it over and over and over and over. It's the truth. Nobody wants to hear it, but it's the facts. It's a fact. You go through a series of different conditions just to bypass all the government jargon and government red tape and all this stuff. And it sounds hot. It sounds sweet. It sounds nice. Oh, $1 million for the doula program in Kent County. I always say Kent County. That's Delaware. Cook County in Illinois. A lot of Chicagoans are going to be better off because of that. That's a good thing. It's not a good thing. Make it private. I don't understand why they don't. It's the first thing that comes to everybody's mind. Well, as the government's got to make sure of that. I'm not gonna. Same thing with Social Security. I'm not gonna have enough money. I'm not gonna have enough money saved up for Social Security. I'm not gonna be the one that's gonna show that I have enough cash to say that I have money saved up. That's not the government's role. The government's role is not to bail you out. Like it bails out banks. It shouldn't bail out banks. It should bail out nobody. It has nothing to do with that. Or it ought to not have anything to do with that. So I salute the doulas. I salute them. They have a very critical role in bringing in the next generations. That's nothing to be taken lightly, even though you can have fun and have a good time, that's one of the best things you can have, but there are serious things. Like I said, there's stillbirths, and there's there's complications galore that occur. So they have to be very serious at certain times, and they have to assuage the women. They have to calm them down and keep them within good spirits, because sometimes, like I said, there are stillbirth. There's all kinds of there could be excessive bleeding. There could be all kinds of different issues could arise just from having a child, and that should be protected. The rights of the new child has rights. As if he or she is individuated from his or her mother, they're individual now. They have rights, just like anybody else. What is that? What is it? Is that I Love Us? Salute to you, I Love Us. I think you said for real. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I Love Us. I appreciate that. Dollars are the future. It's doulas, sir. DOULAS. Doulas. But I appreciate you again. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I Love Us. Yeah, so it's a reality. It's a reality. Women are dying. Women are receiving horrible care. They're getting C-sections that don't need to get C-sections. They're getting induced. They're getting drugs. All kinds of different things are happening, and all it has to do is with the guidance of a doula can alleviate a lot of those issues that come to the fore. They can have a positive impact that is beyond just what the OBGYN can do. So that's one thing they can do. With all the things that we have in this country, that's one of the primary things. I think it's two things. I'm trying to think of the second one, but number one is health. Healthcare, and I can't remember the other one, but there's two. There's healthcare and another one, but definitely healthcare. Healthcare is such a education. That's it. Healthcare and education. Healthcare and education should be completely privatized. They are the cornerstones of our whole living spaces. They are the essentials. They are the at the ground level, the reality behind it. So we have to really dig in deep and understand what that really means. Like when you have doulas, when you have women that mainly women, there may be men. I don't know too many men, but there are OBGYNs who are men. It used to be the only ones, I think. Most men were OBGYN, obstetrician gynecologists. Yeah, this is gonna be a very truncated show. I'm telling you that much. I'm not getting much views. Not getting that much burn on this, but I just thought I had to get it off my chest. It's been hit in my docket for the past few weeks, ever since December, like mid-December, something like that. So I had to get it off my chest. It's a special person in my life's birthday, a family member. This could be like a side of a gift to her, but she would probably disagree with me about the government having any role in the doula, the pilot program in Cook County in Illinois. I just think it's just worthy of attention. It should be talked about. When I see disparities like that, I'm like, well, why? I mean, what is it a gene thing? Is it genetics? Just because you have a higher uh, concentration of melanin in your skin, does that translate, for what kind of care you should get, or what's going on here? This is 2025. We're going into 2020. We're already in 2025, but we'll be going into 2026 soon. So all these issues should be problems that will be resolved with just a few strokes of a pen, just a few ways of understanding. Politicians signing off, their role in the matter, saying we have nothing to do with this. Leave this up to the private sector, private charity, private industry, private banks, private let them give money. It's just everyday Joe. Anybody on the street, if they can lend $5-10 a month to make sure doulas are well paid and well cared for, that would be extraordinary. That would be very good. That would be a good thing. With the power of, private, private means, it would mean that the women would have the power to, talk about themselves, talk about their experiences, talk about how informative they can be and how powerful they can actually be. So that is extraordinary to me. I think that's very profound. The way that doulas have such a prized role, which is quiet though. A lot of people didn't say doulas back then. I think it just started back, maybe 50 years ago. In the 70s, maybe in the 70s, 50 years ago, and they had people that were very well put together. I'll say that much. But that was a different time too, because that was just coming out of segregation, and that's another thing. Private hospitals should be segregated, I believe. We'll see who makes the most money though, with a segregated high school and school system and a medical system. See who makes the most money. See who makes the most money. That's what I would argue. I mean, there should be segregated restaurants, hotels, all kinds. Every business should be segregated. There should be segregation. There should be no segregation in government. Not the military, not the law courts, and not the police force. They should not be segregated. But everything else should be optional. It should be optional. Say, look, I don't like you niggers. I don't like niggers in my establishment. Look, I don't like crackers. I don't like dot heads. I don't like spics. I don't like any of y'all in my restaurant. Get the hell out. I only want whites. Give me whites. Or I don't like any of you crackers. I don't like any of you greasers. I don't like any of you snake oil salesmen, redskins or something. Talking about your ointments and your different in your casinos. They can say that too. Like, we don't want any y'all. Everybody out. All y'all go out. We don't want blacks. We don't want whites. We don't want red. We don't want yellows. We don't want browns. It's all red. That's what we want. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut this down. It's been real. I appreciate everybody that came through. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you. I know this wasn't a a super hit 'em out the park show, but I just wanted to get this off my chest, get this out of my mind, and I will see you sometime maybe later today or tomorrow. Thank you very much. Take care.